welcome. We have, I would say, a small but committed group on this amazing Sunday afternoon in the summer. So welcome, everybody. It's great to see a lot of familiar faces and some new people too. Welcome to the celebration of Sharing Sacred Spaces, interreligious community project of Stamford, Norwalk, Connecticut. I'm really pleased again. It's a delightful day, although I hope you consider this also a nice hour away from the humidity outside, at least in Connecticut. Today, 5 congregations are present to sign their pledge of solidarity. I'll say more about this later, but to those of you who don't know me, I'm Vanessa Avery. I'm the executive director of Sharing Sacred Spaces, and we are a nonprofit organization. We've been around since 2011 with the mission to bring people together across the spectrum of difference into model communities of trust, caring, friendship, and civic action. We build these communities through the vehicles of education, dialogue, radical hospitality, and uniquely architecture and space. To inaugurate this special event, I would like to present to you an award-winning vocalist and composer and a most special human being, Dina Finney. Dina Finney is an activist, recording artist, songwriter, producer, and also the person behind the project called Avalona. Dina's performed with, produced, arranged, and written for artists such as Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Foreigner, Tina Turner Beyond Project, and Rocktopia on Broadway. She has been the recipient of numerous grants and awards from the Songwriters Hall of Fame and National Endowment for the Arts, as well as leading tours and educational programs in the US and Southeast Asia. The music of Avalona is part of a larger immersive musical experience scheduled to launch fall of 2021. Through her company, One Vision Music, and new platform Power of Music Global, she continues to produce concerts and recordings supporting a wide variety of causes, including people with disabilities, women's empowerment and equality, LGBT, homeless children, climate change, and animal rights. I am very proud, Dina, to have you add interreligious understanding and peacemaking on your roster. So without further ado, there's no more appropriate person to launch our ceremony today. I'll pass it to you, Dina.
I am so honored to be here today. Vanessa is not only someone that I look up to so much. She is a dear friend and has been a dear friend for a very long time. And to watch her through the years doing what she does and make such incredible global change is just amazing. I'm in awe of you and all the work that you're doing through Sharing Sacred Spaces. So I'm honored to be here today. I'll be sharing a song, actually 2 pieces with you guys, and I wanted to share a little bit about them. One, you'll hear it, I begin almost every show, pretty much every show I do for many years, with a piece called Nakumpenda Malaika. It's in Swahili, that means I love you, my angel. And it was something that that was kind of channeled through me many, many years ago when I was standing between the Twin Towers when they were still the towers. And I start almost every thing I do with that prayer. And so I wanted to share that with you. And then that will go into a song called Legends. And it's one of a song that I wrote. And it's a song that I think embodies so much of what I believe in, which is that we each have a journey, a voice, a vision, a sacred story, and a unique, beautiful light. And it's our gift and opportunity to share that light with each other and kind of raise the collective consciousness. And I think that's so much of what Sharing Sacred Spaces is about. And I'm honored to be here and connect with all of you. And anyway, this song is called Legends. So I hope you enjoy. Nakumpenda malea Nakum henda malehaika naha naha nakum henda as the bell tolls for dreams unclear, through the mist there's a voice we hear, calling out from the places we've been and places still yet to come. It's the flight of an innocent man. We are legends with journeys great and small. We are legends. Pray our stories will live on. There are legends. Oh, so many battles far and wide. The bravest war is the one inside. But we're safe in the longing arms of beyond. Carry us gentle and strong. It's the flight of an innocent man. We are legends with journeys great and small. We are legends. Pray our stories will live on. There are legends. We are stargazers, we are moon bathers, we are ancestors, we are children once again. We are stargazers, we are moon bathers, we are ancestors, we are children once again. And the voice we must hear is our own, on a journey of a million lifetimes home. Don't let go. We are legends.
Dina, so beautiful and really an inspiring and appropriate opening. So welcome to this really special event where we honor 5 congregations from across Stamford and Norwalk who've worked intensively together for the past 18 months through our Interreligious Communities program. We began this particular journey back in November of 2019. That was before COVID-19 struck our world, and we had the fortune to be able to get together in person for about 4 months. We were getting to know one another over those few months through exercises. Those in our core group would interview one another, share spiritual and religious memories, begin to explore differences as well as their commonalities. During those months, we also planned the year's schedule of events, created a booklet to hand out to others in case they wanted to follow us along our journey and be part of this kind of pilgrimage. I'm going to share a couple of photos. At the Sikh House of Worship, about 70 people gathered from at least 6 different religions to witness a ritual, learn about Sikh beliefs and practices, talk with one another, and share in a langar meal. No ordinary meal. Langar is fundamental to Sikh practice. Langar is a community meal served at every gurdwara around the world, a meal served to anyone, regardless of caste, class, regardless of religion, race, etc. Sikhs donate to help fund the daily langar meals as a community and a spiritual service. And it's a strong message of equality. Anyone can come and eat, and everyone sits together, often right on the floor, and everyone eats the same food. They serve these langar meals every day around the world. It's come to my attention that about 7 million langar meals are served every day. And they served our interfaith community that day. Here are a couple of photos to show you the ritual, learning about practices and beliefs, engaging in conversation. Hi, Minty. And here are some photos of the langar meal that we were served and shared. The following month, the world shut down due to the virus. We could no longer get together in person, but this group from 5 congregations, 6 congregations in fact, but there was one who joined us for most of the process, but couldn't complete the process. And these congregations come from the traditions of Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Sikhi, and the Satya Sai Baba Center. And they've stuck together during one of the most challenging times for so many in the world. During a time when people were socially distancing, socially isolating for many of us, this group had the resilience, the commitment, and the flexibility to continue meeting over Zoom. We shifted to Zoom events where we virtually visited one another's sacred spaces, virtually met members of each congregation, and virtually engaged in dialogue in breakout rooms. This was an extraordinary shift to a new and very different model for interfaith relations, and a model which pioneered a new possibility for building peaceful relations using the internet. This virtual model brought more people, students and faculty into our programs from across the continent. It brought members of the public from as far away as Hong Kong. But what was even more profound was the commitment each and every person here today and every congregation behind them showed in pushing forward with the program despite all the challenges and despite the big change in how we had to do things. So the virus had no chance to stop us, less consume us. And I use the virus also as a strong metaphor for the hate that persists in our world and which keeps trying to rear its head. Through defamations of houses of worship, to symbols of oppression, to intolerance and vilifications of difference, to murder due to ignorance and misdirected anger or hate. We are stopping the virus of hate as well. Through our persistence virtually, people were able to experience the wisdom, the gentleness, the openness, the deep love of God, the humanity of people of all of these religions. And what you are witnessing here today is the incredible strength of the human spirit and the undeterred divine pull of the heart toward unity. Mercy, love, compassion, forgiveness, interconnectedness. These have been the fundamental messages of all the religions and spiritual truths that span our many faiths. So I speak to you all, the graduates of this interfaith work. You've done a tremendous job. You've welcomed each other, the general public. You've shared your spiritual homes. You've shared your spiritual journeys, the elements of your communal histories, your tremendous faith. You've acted as facilitators, embraced questions, and provided caring, open responses in return. You've been open to exploring tougher questions about how to express faith amid difference too. Our journey hasn't always been easy. We're mothers, fathers, grandparents, children, workers, volunteers, cooks, and so many other things. One person from this group had to join our calls from their car sitting in Brooklyn because they had to drive their child to an event. One joined during the only time they also had to shop and set up their worship space. Some joined for 25 minutes sandwiched between other meetings or in the minutes they had before prayers. But there was always the commitment to show up and be present with one another and do the work. So I admire each and every one of you. And I thank you for enriching my life and the lives of so many people who came to our programs. I also want to thank Suzanne Morgan, the architect of the program, and literally an architect who designed and built this process that becomes its own sacred space for people to inhabit and move through. What she's created is unique so far as interfaith programs go. No other interfaith initiative focuses so much on the power and symbolism of architecture, or builds a sustainable and committed local micro-community, which through its branches across religion and other forms of diversity has the reach and power to harness the energies and capabilities of the wider city itself. This year in Stamford, Norwalk will be reflecting upon a civic challenge we can take on together as an interreligious community. So thank you, Suzanne, for being an architect for good. Finally, you're welcome. We'll hear from Suzanne in a little bit too. Finally, I want to thank Reverend Mark Lingle, pastor of St. Francis Episcopal Church and the executive director of the Interfaith Council of Southwestern Connecticut. It's through meeting Mark and working with him that we launched this program here in Southern Connecticut. And it's through him that I know many people learned about our program and attended. Thank you, Mark, for your tremendous leadership. The congregations here today will sign a pledge of solidarity and will speak their declaration of solidarity from each of their faith or practice traditions. Before we get to that point, I'm honored and moved to have Mr. Corey Paris here with us today. Hi, Corey, I see your picture.
Hi
there you are.
I'm so
Hi.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to see you. And so sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say, I first met Mr. Paris when I attended a meeting at the Stamford Mayor's Multicultural Council some 2 years ago, and you've been vice chair since 2016 or so. But I want to congratulate you because you've won an election and you are now the 145th district in Stamford's representative of the state to the House of Representatives. If I got that right, yes.
I'll take whatever I can get today. It's better than being the mean person, the boogeyman of the 145th. I'll take whatever I can get. That was perfectly fine. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I want to welcome you and congratulations. And we're honored to have you representing us here. I am for me. And would you like to say a few words to our group here?
I would, and forgive me for being in a car. It seems that Sunday was meant to be a day of rest and a Sabbath for many religions and faiths. unfortunately, in politics, people do not recognize that. And I am running clear across the state to nearly 6 or 7 different events over the course of this evening. So I've pulled over to speak with all of you today. I certainly want to give much appreciation and validation to all of the work that you are doing across our state and in our community. More people need to realize the importance, without doubt, that faith plays in a person's life. Now, it is commendable for such a person like myself to be elected to political office, but I would be remiss if I did not give full honor, glory, and of course, acknowledgement to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who has given me not only the strength, but the wisdom, and has called me to do the work to represent the people of this district, and of course, on behalf of those in our state. And so it is critical that we continue to have so many people on the front lines from various different faiths and various different religious backgrounds to help spread the word of tolerance and integrity and also love to so many in a world which is showing that it is quite absent of that. And I leave you all with this, with saying this, but 2 scriptures that are very important to me that have meant so much to me over the years. One is, where there is no vision, the people will perish. And so I ask that you all continue to find a vision as to how to bring love and tolerance and joy, and also also in the spirit of working together in cooperation with one another to your communities and to your churches and congregations, because I think that is critical as we move forward in making a difference for the next generation. As the Bible did say, we must train up young children in the ways that they shall go, for when they grow old, they will not depart from it. And I believe that when David said that I am young, for now I'm old, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread, that means a lot to us as we've come out of the last 15 months of this pandemic. Many of us would not have made it out without relying upon our faith and upon our creators. And so as I can say anything else to you, please be encouraged, remain steadfast, and always, always, always keep the faith, because that is what will get us through on our most trying and difficult days. God bless you all. And thank you so much for all the hard work that you do on behalf of our communities.
Thank you, Corey. I'm so honored to have you here, and thank you for your beautiful and very inspiring words. A vision is what we've been living out, I think, and continue to live out over the next, part of this project and the next civic action that we work on together. So God bless you, and best of luck to you and everything you represent. Thank you so much.
Be well, everyone. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Suzanne Morgan. Indeed, a retired architect and a true friend. She's been the Sacred Space Ambassador to the Parliament of the World's Religions. She was the 2015 Fethullah Gulen Award recipient by the Chicago-based Niagara Foundation for the use of religious architecture for the pursuit of world peace. And she is the founder and board chair of Sharing Sacred Spaces. So I'd like, Suzanne, would you like to say a few words for us today?
Sure.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Greetings to all of you who have completed this 1 year of Sharing Sacred Spaces Interreligious Communities project. Thank you for your interest, your work, your commitment to become fully engaged in the religious spaces of your city and their people in order to connect in new and inspiring ways. Something very different from what we see and experience in our wider world today, and especially among religious communities. War and violence have been prominent in the religions of the world, and especially here in the United States in those events of 9/11. We honor your clergy, your boards, your councils, and congregational leaders for their commitment to connecting across religious difference. And they gave you a special charge to participate in building these interfaith relationships. You have completed and also just begun this very significant journey. You have visited one another in their sacred spaces, seeing, even if only virtually, the shapes of each sacred space and how the congregants connect with one another as part of the formal and spiritual content of the religions. You have met members of each congregation and heard about the meaning of their space, their spiritual journeys, and what community and interfaith of their mean to them. You have dialogued in groups across traditions and gotten to know one another. You may never forget this experience and the close friends you have made through your journey. You have something of real value to share with others. One way you will share what you have learned is through the Solidarity Pledge that you are signing, acknowledging your relationships now and in the future with one another, and standing now with one another in the face of anti-religious defamation or threat. You may have already had some experience of this during this year and may have more to come. You need not be afraid in those moments because you have a team now to call upon who is with you and will work together in addressing community difficulties in one way or another. You will know how to change the conversation from conflict to compassion, from fear to hope, and from division to connection. Blessings to all of you today. I am honored to be in your virtual presence as you make this promise to go forth together into the world and show your light, confidence, and faith to others, expanding the love and the light into the unknown. Thank you for completing this important work for the world.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. That was a beautiful speech. I want to move into our pledge signing, and some of you have not seen our pledge for Stamford. So Sonal Vora, who is one of our core participants from the Satya Sai Baba Center of Stamford, is going to read it for us. Sonal, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Here's a pledge of solidarity. We, communities of faith and spirit, serving in the Stamford, Norwalk, Connecticut areas, acknowledge and commit to these ideals. That the work of cultivating the religious and spiritual life of human beings is an essential part of the strength and progress of a community. That supporting those who are committed to cultivating religious and spiritual life strengthens the entire fabric of our community. That we honor the wider traditions of those affiliated, worshiping, or practicing with the communities listed here. That we actively look for ways to stand in solidarity with each other and to serve a wider community. That we stand together against any public attempt to disrespect or harm the well-being of any community of faith or practice or its sacred space. That we celebrate our shared values of compassion, respect, peaceful coexistence, and harmony in diversity. And we believe and actively engage in the principle of knowing and learning about one another. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Sonal. So that is the pledge that people are signing. This pledge was originally written by a participant in our Chicago program several years ago, to whom it came one night as an inspiration. Since then, the Chicago group adapted it. The New Haven group adopted it with very minor changes, and the Stamford group adopted it, again with many minor changes, just to suit their own community's emphases. Considering the 3 cities that have already signed the pledge, that brings this pledge to over 23 congregations and it has touched almost 20,000 people who belong to those congregations. This is quite a funnel of unity and mutual recognition. So without further delay, I am going to, we couldn't sign physically over Zoom. So again, we've pre-recorded a video for you of the actual signing, which we did just a few days ago. So give me one more moment and I will bring that up on the screen.
Mark Lingo, St. Francis Episcopal Church, and the part-time executive director of the Interfaith Council of Southwestern Connecticut in Stamford, Connecticut. We sign on to this pledge of solidarity because all of our traditions recognize the sacrality of human life and the larger creation, and that at their best, these traditions respect the dignity of every human being.
My name is Bishop James Hinton of Rose of Sharon Ministries, Stamford, Connecticut. We, the Rose of Sharon Ministries, being of apostolic faith, believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. Commit to this pledge because God has a special use and purpose for all his people. According to the Holy Scriptures written by John in the Holy Bible, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
My name is James Ashford. I'm the elder at the Rose of Sharon Ministry. And I am committed to this pledge because we at the Rose of Sharon Ministry believe in the uplifting of all mankind and the fulfillment of peace throughout the land, according to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Rabbi Joshua Hammerman, Temple Bethel in Stamford. We as Jews commit to this pledge because throughout history we've known the evils of bigotry, intolerance, and persecution. We also live by the golden rule that nearly all faith traditions embrace, to love our neighbor as ourselves, and to see all people of all backgrounds as being created in the image of God.
I'm Imam Ashraf Nassar, Imam of Islamic Culture Center of Stamford. We as Muslims commit to this pledge because we believe in what Allah has ordered us in the Quran. O mankind, we created you from male and female and made you into nations and tribes to know each other. The noblest one in front of God is the most righteous one. According to this ayah, the original sin is racism. Thank you so much.
My name is June Bader, and I'm here representing the ICC-NY Islamic community in Stamford, Connecticut. I am signing this pledge because Islam teaches us that all humans should be honored, irrespective of religion or race. And for me, this includes standing up for injustices that all religious communities are facing in today's society.
My name is Minty Kaur. I'm a Sikh from Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Foundation. I commit to signing this pledge because, as a Sikh, I believe in the oneness of all. We are all bound together by an entity called Vaheguru, which resides in each and every one of us. Two characteristics of Vaheguru is being without hate and without fear. Being a Sikh, we try to emulate these characteristics.
I'm Sonal Vora in Stamford. We, as the Satya Sai Baba Center of Stamford followers, commit to this pledge because we believe that all hearts are motivated by the one and only God, that all faiths glorify the one and only God, that all names in all languages and all forms man can conceive denote the one and only God. His adoration is best done by means of love. Having cultivated that Eka Bhava, or the attitude of oneness between people of all creeds, we pledge to continue to uphold this oneness. That is a message of love we bring and wish to uphold by signing this pledge.
Hi, my name is Dr. Alan Levy. I'm also an interfaith reverend, and I take great pleasure in signing this pledge today as a representative of the Satya Sai Baba Center of Stamford, Connecticut, and all its participants. We of the Satya Sai Baba Center of Stamford, Connecticut stand for human values being represented in all our activities. That is love as well as peace, doing the right thing, we call that Dharma, nonviolence, and truth. Take great pleasure in signing this today on behalf of our community and the community of Stamford and all communities throughout the United States and the world, that together we can overcome the prejudices that separate us and fulfill God's promise of a peaceful world through a common family of humanity and love and respect for all the citizens of this world in the oneness of love.
Pledge has been signed officially the other day, but officially today. And congratulations to all of you. I know we have a couple of people from other cities, so I'll just make a nod to Sarah from New Haven. I hope this brought back good memories of your signing. If we have anyone here from Toronto, this is a glimpse of what is to come. It is now your charge as an interfaith group and as interfaith leaders to correct misunderstandings and build bridges of compassion and understanding moving forward. Move forward with the light you all bring so that our deepest common spiritual and religious values expressed so beautifully in your declarations may spread peace. I look forward to continuing our relationship and the continued blossoming of the vision that you all have shared and put together. I just wanted to ask, since we have a small group on this beautiful day, is there anyone that wants to just say anything or ask a question? We have a couple of minutes where we could do that if anyone wishes to say something.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, old friend.
Thank Vanessa. I would just like to say that it's very beautiful what I saw and what I witnessed today, to know that we still have people in various areas recognizing the beauty in what God has created, and that is all of us and our various ways of expressing our love for God has been expressed in the sacred spaces that you've all come to be a part of. So I appreciate it. This work has been going on for a long time. It's going to continue to go on until hopefully we can envelop the whole earth and have people all over doing something like this so that we can really learn to live together. I just have one thing to say about tolerance. It is a word that I do not accept for what it is that we are doing, because I know that you can tolerate what you hate because it's a mandate to tolerate it. So it's about more of compassion and understanding and respecting and appreciating. So I rather use those terms. I might have to use more words than just one word, but I just think it means so much more. And so I just would like to add that to it. And one of the persons that I really received that kind of insight from is Rabbi Jonathan Sack, who wrote the book, The Dignity of Difference. And I've held it close to my heart for a very long time. I appreciate all that you are doing. Vanessa, you're doing great work. I appreciate what you're doing. You're still there. And may God bless all of you.
God bless you too, Salahuddin. Yeah.
Thank you.
I could also add, Vanessa, thank you for your perseverance, and there are several of my congregants from Temple Bethel here, and I think your impact on our synagogue as well as on the entire community, despite all of the challenges of the past year, has been wonderful. And the video that you produced for our visit, as well as the others, is something that I hope people will continue to watch and learn from as the months and years go by.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Me too. Me too. I learned a lot from your community as well. Being Jewish, I learned a lot from doing that video and speaking with people. It was really fantastic. Well, thank you. With that,
I jump in and say thank you for
Okay.
having it. I'm a relatively new friend of Vanessa's. I want to congratulate her and all of you on this beautiful work, and what a privilege it has been to just see your joyful community this afternoon. This is really important, powerful work that you've done together, and I appreciate and I'm grateful to have seen a little bit of it.
Thank you, Katie. Yes, and the beginning of a long friendship, I hope. Yes, and of good work. So Dina, I'll turn this back to you for a closing chant. Shall we?
So once again, Vanessa, thank you for having me today. I'm honored to be in the presence of all of you. I truly love and honor the work that you're doing, and just the light you're spreading and the consciousness you're spreading throughout the world. So I'm honored to be here. And as I started the ceremony with this prayer, I want to end with the same prayer. No bells, whistles, just me on Zoom, but I just wanted to share Nakkumpenda. So once again, thank you for having me. And this is Nakkumpenda. Nakkumpenda Malehaika Nakum Henda Malehaika Naha Naha Nakum Henda Maleha Haika.
To life, to love, to peace. Go forth in the world with your light. Amen. Thank you, Dina. Everyone, thanks for being here. Congratulations to you all.